breaking news. De'Aaron Fox is now being listened to for trade offers by the Sacramento Kings. The franchise piece for the Kings has been De'Aaron Fox throughout, the last 5 years. And now they are open to trading him with 2 years left on his deal. And many people are saying, do not get rid of De'Aaron Fox unless he wants to leave. But here, I'm going to tell you right now that the Sacramento Kings should definitely look into trading him before the trade deadline. You might be saying, why should they even think about doing that? Well, the Sacramento Kings aren't really in a solidified playoff spot. They would be like in the play-in, if that. So, with De'Aaron Fox, they're not really contending to get out of the first round. First round is the max they'll do. Their best ever season was going to 7 against the Golden State Warriors and getting knocked off in the first round. And really, you don't have that much of an upgraded team from the one that took the Golden State Warriors to 7. And now De'Aaron Fox has 2 years left on his deal. And what I'm seeing from this deal of De'Aaron Fox is something we saw similarly in the past with the Utah Jazz and Donovan Mitchell. 2 years left on the deal, and you don't know if Donovan Mitchell wants to stay or not. So the Jazz kind of saw most of the signs pointing towards Donovan Mitchell wanting to leave in free agency, that he was going to test the market and leave elsewhere. So the Jazz decided not to leave empty-handed with their franchise player who was taking them to the first seed. De'Aaron Fox hasn't even done that, but Donovan Mitchell rookie year took him to the second round. He would actually win playoff series for the Jazz, but De'Aaron Fox has not won a playoff series for the Kings. So 2 years left, hasn't signed an extension. There's no real talk about an extension. So by all means, if I am the Kings, I go out and trade De'Aaron Fox with as much time as possible on that contract to get as much value as possible. And I feel like this trade deadline, many teams are going to try and make a playoff push, and De'Aaron Fox's value will be at an all-time high because teams will be desperate. And De'Aaron Fox will not be staying in Sacramento because De'Aaron Fox knows he will not win a championship with the Kings. Obviously, he won't be eligible for a supermax when he goes to free agency, but he will still get a lot of money. And with California taxes, really, if he gets a max contract to, let's say, the Miami Heat, for example, it could, be a similar number to a supermax with the Kings in California due to, state taxes. But now that I've given my reasoning for the Kings, being at reason to trade their star player in De'Aaron Fox, now I'm going to tell you the perfect trade where De'Aaron Fox is happy, the Kings are happy, and the team that's going to be trading for Fox will be obviously happy. And that is the loss. I'm just kidding. Throw this garbage out. If you think the Lakers are even going to get close to trading for a superstar like De'Aaron Fox for Rui and, Austin Reeves and, 2 others, Vanderbilt, who's a great defensive player but has no bucket, and then Dalton Connect, who, yeah, he's had a couple games where he's been lights out, but no. This trade should not happen. I'm sorry. You can get a lot more from a team that, in question, I'm going to say, for De'Aaron Fox, he has a better chance of winning a championship in the future if he goes to them and he signs an extension. And that is going to be, the San Antonio Spurs. Yes, this is the trade I came up with. So right here, you're going to be trading Fox. Obviously, Huerter is another piece you're going to be letting go. To the San Antonio Spurs, and then you got Keon Ellis, another young player, but he's removable or not in the deal. Obviously, some picks are gonna be involved heading to Sacramento, of course. But Vassell is a player that I believe is on the same path or trajectory that De'Aaron Fox was at 2-3 years ago, around that time. I think Vassell's on that. He's averaging, close to 20 points. Very young player. He's already locked down for the next 5 years. He's already got the extension going. He's a young, exciting player. I think you're basically, in 2-3 years, he's going to be where Fox is at right now. And you're already locking him in as a, Sacramento Kings organization. It's very difficult to bring in free agency signings. So I think it's a perfect opportunity to bring in a guy who's, where De'Aaron Fox was 2-3 years ago. So you already got him locked down. And he's a young player. You have him for at least 5 years. I think that's a perfect situation, a perfect place to go. And then also for Vassell, he's going to be the number 1 guy there when it comes to guards. Obviously, you might say DeMar DeRozan or Sabonis might be the number 1 guy, but he will eventually become the number 1 offensive option. He'll have freedom. He'll grow. I feel like he'll grow faster there than with the Spurs. And then Keldon Johnson is a young forward. And then Sochan as well is 2 young, forwards, 2 wings that are showing promise. And I genuinely believe this is a actual fair deal because you're going to get one potential all-star and two really good role players that could, if everything goes well, they could possibly become all-stars. But I'm more inclined to believe that Vasil could become an all-star compared to Keldon Johnson and Sochan. But you're trading these guys. You got, multi years of control here with Vasil, Johnson, and Sochan. And then Fox ends up going to the Spurs, and then he gets that kind of legacy spot. You're going to a bigger market, of course, but you're going to be with Wembanyama. Wembanyama seems like he's the next, LeBron. After LeBron's done, it seems like Wembanyama might be the next, face of the NBA. And he's going to need a second option, and De'Aaron Fox is a phenomenal second option. Obviously, a first option, he's not going to win a championship, but as a second option to, Wembanyama, I genuinely believe this team could win a championship the next 3-4 years, and it's best for both of them. He's going to get his bread. He's going to go to a tax-free state. And not only that, you get to be with the generational talent, and it does a lot more for your legacy. If you're winning championships as a second option with Victor Wembanyama, then it would be, being with the Kings, getting all these all-stars, maybe taking it to a conference championship at most, like Damian Lillard's career kind of went with the Trailblazers. I think it does a lot more for De'Aaron Fox, and the money's going to be there, free from state tax. I think it's a win-win for everybody. De'Aaron Fox is going to get his bread. Wembanyama gets the second option, and the Spurs have their little duo to build off. All you got to do is kind of have the roster around. You still kind of keep Castle as well, a exciting young player. It's a win-win everywhere. Forget about the Lakers thing. That one, somebody smells like that's the deal right there. Because if you think Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura is gonna land you, a top 7-8 point guard in De'Aaron Fox, you're sadly mistaken. Sadly. But anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. Leave a comment down below where you think De'Aaron Fox should be traded, and if the Kings should risk it and just see if he ends up extending, which I believe De'Aaron Fox won't. If I'm the Kings, I see this as a situation as a Donovan Mitchell to the Utah Jazz, and I just trade him, get what I can for him. But anyways, thank you guys for watching.